thinking about this last night. So first of all, I'd like to start and say thank you for everybody for coming. This is an incredible event. It's only grown in size and scale, and the impact that happens because of HA is unbelievable. I'm very proud to represent our department here. Dr. Ellen Bogan is here, who's the chairman of neurosurgery, who's really been instrumental in building the program up over the years and supporting the patients. Our nurse practitioner team and my other neurosurgery colleagues who all say hello. Hydrocephalus is one of these things, as I've been coming to this for a number of years, where, we started out going, how do we build community around hydrocephalus? How do we educate families, patients, and our colleagues around hydrocephalus? And importantly, how do we treat hydrocephalus? How do we create innovation around hydrocephalus? And ultimately, how do we cure hydrocephalus? And, I think I did this probably about 10 years ago. And the thing I want to tell you today is that there is great optimism. And I think we're entering into a completely new era where we're looking at hydrocephalus in different ways. And I think that a cure is really in the future here. And I wanted to talk a little bit about that today. The HA has raised, as you all know, over $13 million for research. And we have colleagues around the country and locally here who are doing an incredible work, both on the basic science level as well as around engineering in hydrocephalus, and it's advancing the field significantly. And through that work, the HA has also secondarily allowed us to get over $50 million in grant funding across the country to try and work on hydrocephalus research to get rid of hydrocephalus, make it something that's really relegated to the history books. So just to give you guys a little bit of insight as to what's going on, we have colleagues around the country who are studying spinal fluid taken from patients and newborns, looking at why does hydrocephalus happen? What are the causal factors? And we're starting to understand much more so now than we ever have what's going on. There's a ton of inflammatory markers, different things that are created in the spinal fluid that shouldn't be there. And why is that important? It's because that allows us to start to think about drug therapies and treatments and other ways of mitigating the damage that can happen, so that hopefully hydrocephalus doesn't become an issue for that child. So there's an enormous amount of work. There's several trials that are starting or underway at this point looking at drug discovery. And we think that that's going to be an enormously impactful thing over the years to come. And so your support of HA allows this type of work to happen. Hydrocephalus historically had been very poorly funded, but now we're making great progress. And so that's a thanks to everybody here locally and certainly HA nationally. My interest has been around innovation in hydrocephalus from the engineering standpoint, looking at trying to design new shunts, better shunts. Everybody who has kids, so many of families that I take care of here, it's frustrating, right? Like you have a headache, we don't know if your shunt's broken, we don't know what's going on. So there's an evolving bit of work going on around the country looking at smart shunts and other technologies that hopefully improve upon how we do diagnostic care so that when you come in, we have a better idea what's going on with your child and don't have to operate, for example, just to find out what's happening. So there's some amazing new things that are on the horizon. And then the final thing I'll say that I think is going to be very important in hydrocephalus is what we call big data. So how do we take all this information that's in the medical record and start to understand populations such as hydrocephalus? So there's all of this emerging work going on in computational biology, computational science that's going to be applied to hydrocephalus. So I don't think it's too far in the future where you'll have a smart shunt and that shunt will offload information and we'll be able to understand what's going on with your child. So the goal is to eliminate hydrocephalus as an entity completely. And I think we're really on a different trajectory to be able to do that. And I feel very different standing here today than when I did this 10 years ago, talking to folks. And, I think from our standpoint at Children's, I just wanted to thank all of the family members. You guys are amazing. We're always in awe of you when you come in, and just, incredible journey that everybody's on, and we're very humbled and honored to be part of your lives, and we thank you all for supporting HA. If you need anything, we're always here for you guys, and love from the neurosurgery department at Children's, everybody here. Thank you guys.